Hey, what is up all you Gamepad fanatics, and welcome back. Today we're doing another Gamepad review. Today we are looking at the Belkin Nostromo n52 Keypad. Before we get into the actual review, let me go over how I do these reviews, because this is a little more technical than reviewing toys. Those of you who have seen the past ones know what I'm talking about, but let's just go through the motions for the newbies. I grade these gamepads. They can receive 15 possible points out of 3 5-point categories. There's 5 possible points for functionality, there's 5 possible points for how comfortable it is in your hand, and 5 possible points for visual appeal. Now that we have that all out of the way, let's get into the actual review. Functionality-wise, well, this is obviously meant for playing FPS games. Control-wise, it's very smooth. The space button here was just a little stiff to begin with, and it can still be kind of stiff if you go at it from the wrong angle, because it's almost like it's on a hinge. It's meant to go inward. It's not meant to all be pushed down at once. Otherwise you get a weird click like that. I think the reason the whole button was stiff when I first got it is because, well, it was shipped in the middle of winter. It's starting to warm up now. Okay. Aside from that, it's approximately half a keyboard. When you plug it in, that's basically what function it serves. Like, you know, this is actually W, these are A, S, and D. That's caps lock right here. Down here is shift, up here is tab. And then you've got actually Z, X, and C, and you've got your Q and E. Right here is R and F. It doesn't have anything. It doesn't have anything way up here at the top to use as number keys, unfortunately. So if you're playing a game that depends on using that, you're gonna be moving your hands away from the pad to touch the keyboard, which could mean failure in a crucial moment. It also doesn't have a control key, something a lot of PC gamers are used to using. So if you get this, switch the control button to the shift button in your hotkeys of whatever game you're playing. Not really a big deal. It comes with a scroll wheel, which pretty much does the exact same thing as it does on the mouse. It seemed a little superfluous to me at first, but if you know any of you are Minecraft fans and you go onto Hypixel and you play party games, you know that game where you have to dig down using the shovel, the pickaxe, and the axe to cut the individual blocks. This was perfect for that, because I'm so used to scrolling with my index finger that I was scrolling this with my left hand and just clicking with my right, and it's a little cheaty, but it works. And then finally, this is actually, I believe, the Alt button, but it also works as a big honkin' fire button. And there's a little D-pad here for whatever you might need it for. I use this button in Team Fortress 2 mostly as a change class button, because I never remember what the default button is. So sue me. But all in all, functionality-wise, it's not bad. It gets a 4.5. Yay, 4.5 functionality. For comfort in the hand, though, as you can see, it is very ergonomic. Let me just demonstrate for you here. Thumb goes on the space, and it's within reach of all this. Your hand just kind of finds... It's a little weird at first, but then eventually your hand just kind of finds a way of comfortably resting on top of it. And it does feel very solid, except for this bit here, the palm rest. It's a separate panel. As you can see, it's just kind of held in there with a peg. And if you're pressing down on it, you're going to feel just a little bit of wiggle. Not enough to worry me, but it's worth taking note. Basically, just don't slam it and rage. And at first I thought the space button was at a weird angle, but like I said, your hand just kind of learns the pads, so your thumb rests comfortably after a while. It kind of has a little bit of a bend to it. And if you plan on using the scroll wheel, again, if you don't play Minecraft party games, that's very doubtful. It is at a weird angle, so don't just use the tip of your finger to scroll it. That'll cause cramps after a minute. Instead, just let your finger fall on top of it, and your knuckle should be just in front of that top arc. Like, can't see if I like that, and you can just scroll. The D-pad and the fire button are within reach, easily from your thumb, and literally it's just like a everything's right there. So for ergonomics, it gets a score of 5. It's excellent. I've actually got this plugged into my computer, so when I was scrolling that, the script I've got right next to me was going up and down and up and down. As far as looks go, it's pleasing to look at. You know, it's not terribly... there's no terrible flashing neon. I'm going to mention that later, remember that. To distract you from your game. The 3 indicator lights on the space pad here haven't lit up aside from, you know, it's their initial startup, but their placement does make sense. It's because this is a left-handed keypad, or a left-hand keypad. You're going to be looking at that. This is going to be closest to you, which is where these LEDs are. Now the paint on this one was a little worn out, but the numbers were clear when I got it, but wear and tear will, you know, eventually fade. But it doesn't really matter. You know where everything is at a glance. So for looks, it gets a score of 5. And in total, with 4.5 in functionality, 5 points in ergonomics, and 5 points in looks, that gives it a score of 14.5. Aside from a few odd placement issues, this is a great gamepad. Keep in mind, though, the Nostromo is made by... there are 2 different Nostromos out there. There's the n52 right here. This one is made by... well, they're probably both n52s, but this one is made by Belkin. Let's see if I can get the autofocus to come in on that. Come on. See, right there. Nostromo by Belkin. And the other one is made by Razer. This one is reasonably priced and won't break the bank, but the one made by Razer is really expensive. It's loaded down with neon lights, and I don't own any Razer products personally, but from experience from friends, they have a habit of breaking. Not to mention the Razer Nostromo, like I said, is really expensive. So if you were to buy a Nostromo, I would recommend the Belkin over the Razer, because I can't imagine performance between the two being terribly different. Oh, I forgot to mention mechanical keys, really important, very fun. So yeah, if you're looking for a keypad so that you can improve your game, or just sit a little more comfortably at your desk, hunt one of these down. It's really worth your money. As a matter of fact, well, I got this used and it was like only 30 bucks. I think brand new they're like 60, which does sound expensive, but you know, I've looked at other gaming keypads and yeah, that sounds 60 bucks does sound all right. 40, I think, was the average price that you can find out there. So yeah, pop on Amazon, eBay, you know, go to your local your local Best Buy, tech store, whatever. Hunt one of these down if you need it. If you need a keypad. Thank you so much for watching. This has been El Chiz Reviews, and I'm signing off.